Good evening. I want to talk about my experience with cannabis, and it'd be easier for me to talk from now and go backwards than to start from the beginning and to come to now, because I'll probably forget a lot of details. So the most recent, I think it was about a year ago, less than that, I started having what they call auras. It was like deja vu, and it was like deja vu and a premonition at the same time. It was so weird, and like it started happening to me, and then like a week later, I had a seizure, a really bad seizure. I was in the bathroom, and I remember hearing in my head, bunk, 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 that sound. My head was bouncing on the toilet, and then I felt my eyebrow split open, and then I woke up, and blood was just dripping out of the corner of my eye. And I was like, whoa, I didn't know what happened. I could, my whole body was like tingling. I felt like my skin was on fire, and I was cold at the same time. It was really weird. And so I called my mom, and I was like, I could barely talk. I was like, something happened, and I couldn't explain it. And I was like, I fell in my head, and she's like, you had a seizure. She's like, take your medicine. And I was making CBD oil from, I ordered from, anyway, I was making the CBD oil, and I took a drop of that, or just, I don't remember how much I did. I probably just grabbed it and filled it and squirted it right in my mouth, and like instantly I was able to talk. I was like, oh yeah. I was like, I explained what happened, and she was like, yeah, you had a seizure. So then she reminded me that I had some, I love my mom, God bless you, mom. Um, she reminded me that I had some RSO put up, that I had it saved for, for an emergency. And she brought it to me, and it was a half gram of RSO, and I took a quarter gram that day. The next morning, I had another seizure, and I almost fell down the steps. So I grabbed that CBD oil and I took it again, and then I took the rest of the RSO, the other quarter gram. The next morning, I took the rest of it, and I slept. It was like the first time I actually got some good sleep in a while. And then the next day, I woke up. I didn't have a seizure, and I was like, that's when it was weird. Like I gave up on the medical system, and I was like really pissed off about the history of the medical system, and I went like balls to the wall for cannabis, and like I was dogging the medical system, and I don't know, I did it in a really bad way. Like I had a bad experience, and I'm sure it was a bad experience for the people that were around me. But now, this is a year later, I take RSO every day now. Like if I don't take RSO for I think about 2 weeks, then I start getting those auras again, and I know I'm gonna have a seizure soon. So I just take RSO every day, just so I don't have to worry about it, and my CBD oil. Um, yeah, that was my experience for the past year. It was a rough year for me. I got really sick, and um, I'm very grateful for the cannabis. It's a sacred plant, and we've been lied to for at least 100 years now, due to the media, and we all know about how Randolph Hearst and DuPont and J.P. Morgan, they all came together and started killing trees and ruined the cannabis industry. But anyway, this is just one testimony of my cannabis experience of me having seizures, and I'm confident that with CBD oil and the full extract cannabis oil, probably just, I don't know. But I take both of them. I take the CBD as a daily maintenance, and then the RSO I really could take once a week if I wanted to. But I have lots of anxiety and depression. But the RSO, I have no depression when I'm on RSO. My anxiety is what I'm trying to control. But the CBD oil, I'm working something with the CBD because it helps with the anxiety. But if I just take CBD by itself, then it gives me anxiety. It's really weird. So, but anyway, the RSO, the CBD oil, that's real medicine. And like when I looked into what seizures were, and like the word etymology of seizure is like a demonic possession or something like that. That's what they believed. And I'm Catholic, and I'm religious, and I'm spiritual. I'm very spiritual, and I am religious. Um, and I believe because I don't know, I don't want to give too many details of what happens when the seizures happen, but I think it is like when my head was bouncing on the toilet. I think like I really felt like someone was just like pushing my head down, like bink bink. But anyway, um, so I'm looking at that, and then I'm looking at medication, and then like I'm looking at the source of where medication comes from, and these are the same people that funded war chemicals, and I'm supposed to accept medicine from them. So that's when I gave up. I was like, this is ridiculous. I will never put a pill in my body again. I will never give money to the medical industry again, unless they come correct and they realize what they've done for the past 100 years, and they start giving out free medicine, not for an insurance scheme or for advertising or for public relations. None of that. I don't care about any of that. I want to make medicine to heal people and to cure disease. Okay? So that's the problem today. People are like afraid to talk about cannabis. Like, yeah, it cured my diseases, and it's way better than any medicine that they call today. It's like these people who call. First of all, the medical industry is a fraudulent system. It's allopathic medicine in America. Now, don't get me wrong. Some procedures I appreciate, like when surgery is needed and when things are needed, But a lot of times, most of these doctors are just paid to think symptomatically and like, oh well, if I get this procedure done, then you know it's a way for them to sell. In a procedure, you're gonna have to sell, you know, medical equipment. You're going to have to charge for the procedure. You're going to go to a specialist. The insurance companies are making so much money that they're not focusing on curing and relieving people's illnesses. They're just focused on numbers. So people are like, how can we? You have to expose the medical industry has to come correct. Like, they need to be. Listen, there's a 700-page toxicology report. You can find it. I found it on Google, a PDF. I downloaded it. I'm not going to take the time to read the whole thing because that type of stuff makes me really angry. I don't have the energy to focus on that frequency right now. Maybe in the future I will, but they only settled for some kind of millions. And with all with like IG Farben is who started that was the major corporation. I don't know. It was a conglomerate that came together. They started. It was IG Auschwitz, then it turned into IG Farben, and then they separated into different subsidiaries. But if you look at like the mapping of all these companies, they're all owned by the same families, and these same families were funded by the Rockefellers in America over here. So it was like the Bush family. They put them in charge of financing the Nazi parties. So this is why our medical system is so corrupt. And I don't expect them to fix themselves overnight, especially during when they use the media to control the medical opinion and the medical viewpoints and the medical jargon. Like literally, they're hiring horrible actors to brainwash you about what they think your health should be. Who the hell is you have no authority to tell me what my health is. Not even these doctors. Like these doctors wear their little white coats and they just want to they don't even look you in the eyes. They're just like, "Hold on. They listen for what kind of drug you need. That's all they do." Oh, yep. Mhm. Yep. Yep. All right. So what we're going to do, we're going to start you on these three drugs, blah 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 blah, and then those drugs cause side effects. And side effects are like an appetizer in a dinner. You don't order an appetizer and then throw your appetizer, or you don't order a dinner and then you choose your appetizer, and then when your appetizer shows up, you're like, yeah, you can throw that away. I don't need that. No, you eat the damn forgive me. You eat the appetizer, and it's included with the meal. So then dinner comes, and then you eat your dinner, right? Then your body digests it. Well, the same thing happens with medications. These drugs, the drug company drugs, pharmaceutical drugs, have side effects, and depending on your immune system is what side effects affect your body in a negative way. You know what I mean? It's not the luck of the draw. It's the body type. So have you noticed that no, unless they're a natural healer or an herbalist, or they have to say I'm not FDA approved, and the FDA is the most corrupt, hypocritical piece of crap system. They have nothing to do with health, nothing to do with nutrition. They figure out ways to bend health and nutrition. That's what they do. They get paid to save money. They get paid to produce drugs that are 20,000 times more potent than sugar. That's what causes disease is sugar. Cancer feeds on sugar and sick animals. That's why you have to bless and pray over your food. If you don't believe in God, now is the time. If you don't believe in God, you have to believe in love or hate. So, like, you can do an experiment. If you put hate energy on water and you freeze it, it makes it all mutated and it's horrible and it's not good for you. If you put love on your water, it makes perfect formations of crystals, and you can bless your water, and that symmetrical, perfect symmetrical shapes when you bless and you send love to your water. So you can do that with your food, because they have us microwaving our food, so we literally are destroying the molecular cellular what's in the food, and then we eat that, and then we wonder why our stomach, which has gut flora microbiome, which is our immune system, which the medical industry has declared a war against. If you haven't noticed, it's a war on the immune system. It's a war on real medicine. It's a war on the consumers, the patients. That's what it is. These medical war profiteers, they are war profiteers. The medical industry is not medical. It's what it is they get these young kids in debt, and they make them sign their lives away, and then they make them sign the Hippocratic Oath, which, no, it's horrible. Hippocrates' first law is first do no harm. Let thy food be thy medicine. I don't know all his laws, but these people, doctors, when they go to school, they don't learn nutrition. They do one semester of nutrition, if that, one course. Probably food preparation. No, they don't do food preparation. They do some kind of nutrition course, and it's not very long. I took a nutrition course, and I did very well in it. And then the more I figured out about the FDA, it literally it was hurting me. And I was like thinking, like, I'm going to school and learning all this so I can continue to poison people. Like, no. And to figure out different regulations and stuff like that. Like, no. I got my books over there. I'm not going to expose them all the way, but I tell you what, The easiest way to avoid it is to check your ingredients and start growing your own food. Because if you read these ingredients on their labels, it's not food. The Food and Drug Administration. Those are Nazis that that regulate. Excuse me. That regulate. It's the mafia. They regulate everything. They tell you, you know what I mean? They're the middleman. That's what it is. It's the middleman's. It's the mafia. And Dr. Robert Hahn, what are you doing? Are you good or bad? Like, you got in almost 2 years ago. He's the new director of the Food and Drug Administration, he's one of the top people in the Food and Drug Administration. We want some real food and some real medication. We don't want drugs and poison. Your medical system, so Dr. Hahn and who's the general, what do you call that person? The general health person. You guys need to come together and figure something out, because do your job right. You have us out here dying for your medical system. Like, no, thank you. Not interested. You're going to learn what real medication is. I'm talking about cannabis. The reason cannabis is illegal is because of your greedy people. William Randolph Hearst, DuPont, JP Morgan, and they wrote fake news, and really the prohibition on alcohol. So Harry Anslinger needed something to do, so they made him the first. Ended up being the drug czar, which turned into the DEA and all that stuff. But it's garbage. None of it's true. You guys are just freaking thieves, and you guys want to use your shenanigans on us. Like, okay, we're just gonna make up these policies. Policies don't have nothing to do with the Constitution. You guys are getting paid to violate our constitutional right. These crimes against humanity, Nuremberg 2.0 has already started. Like, your fake cover story for what's going on. That's why the media just lies to people every day and tries to get them to focus on baloney numbers and fake doctors' advices. And I hope you guys start doing your jobs. I'm a true healer. I'm my first patient is me. I've been sick. They damn diagnosed me with a couple things, and it's going away. And if I would have stayed in their system, she was like, yeah, we're going to start you off, and you're going to have to do 216 different kinds of, it was like 200, I don't take any pills, and she was trying to prescribe me 260 something pills in less than 12 weeks, and then I was going to have to start something else, and then, like, she already had it, like, blah, blah, blah. I was like, whoa, who, what, no, time out, you know, and I changed my diet. I started putting my bare feet on the ground. When DuPont, or I don't know who it was, they started making the first synthetic soled shoes, and they would put rubber on our feet instead of conductive materials, so we could still absorb that electricity. And that's the reason people get sick, is because their electricity is out of balance. That's why they lower our pH with acidic food. But if you eat alkaline food, high electricity diet, you become alkaline and you can prevent any illness. This is what the medical industry has declared a war on. There's the war on the human immune system, the patient's rights, the true healing system, the true medication. You got idiots talking about going to different fake planets that humans cannot go to. You can't go to you can't leave our atmosphere. God created our Earth in a flat stationary plane. He separated the waters from the waters. He put the firmament down, and that's what happened, okay? So you cannot penetrate that firmament with a rocket. It's not possible. They call it their what do they call it? Van Allen radiation belts. That's what the con artists in NASA call it, but it's called the firmament. And they're talking about doing stuff somewhere else so that way they can steal more money from you and hypnotize you more and steal your power from you, instead of repopulating or leaving our rainforests alone and letting our planet heal itself. You got these evil people who write the news, who program you with their soul lure system. They're literally luring your soul and deceiving you, making you think, do you feel like you're doing this? I don't. I feel like I'm chilling right here. Yep, still chilling. So this medical industry, the media companies, so they had a Satanist, a pedophile, and a few sketchy characters come together, and that's who started NASA. Okay? Hibbler, von Braun, and Disney as well. And Huxley's people, there's a few of them. And from childbirth, they get you thinking that you're some insignificant creature who needs to hurry up and leave his parents' house and get into debt so he can start paying freaking taxes and be a slave to society. It's the most horrible. That's how you steal people's power. That's how you make money. That's how you create a slave society. I understand why they do it, because they're evil and they need our energy, and that's literally what they do. Like, they siphon your energy from you. It's an algorithm. They get on the news and they show you a scary story, then they show you a nice story, then they show you another scary story before you fall asleep, so you get in that, and then first thing in the morning you wake up and it's like, traffic jam, blah blah blah, this and that happened last night, oh my goodness, did you hear about this? It's like 95% of that, not 95, I don't know, depending on where you live, most of it's not true. They're just going there giving a cover story of what really happened. That's what the news is. They lie to you so that way you don't find out the truth. It's nothing new. It's all old. They should call it olds. And so I went from RSO to the history of the manipulation of this world. So that's why the medical industry is wrong. That's why I gave up on the medical industry and I denounced it, and I don't recognize it anymore until they come correct. And then they start showing the data, the research, the real science. You're paying people to show pseudoscience. Trust the science. Da, da, da. You got actors telling people to trust the science. I don't trust science. Science proves itself. I trust God, and I trust miracles. I don't trust science at all. There's no need for trust in science. I'm a scientist. I'm a conscious observer. You gotta tell me to trust the science. You want me to trust you, a con artist, who proclaims science, the cult of science. You guys created the cult of science because they wanted to combat religion. Yeah, some religion is corrupt, and religions got manipulated, and they had to, like, the powers have, doesn't matter. What's going on now? Cannabis is real medicine. The drug companies and these pharmaceutical companies are poisonous war chemicals that have been created into pharmaceutical companies. We're not going to accept your poison anymore. Okay? I'm a sacred garden. Right here. Here I am. And because there's nothing beneficial, nothing medical, nothing sacred, nothing holy about this medical system. I'm going to show you what sacred medicine is. And I've been called, I've been chosen to, because I understand it and I respect it. And I'm learning. And I'm going to learn how to speak properly without getting upset, and how to control my anxiety and stuff like that. So things are going to get better, but this is who I am. This is what I represent. I'm not afraid to say it. I'm not afraid to admit it. I've educated myself. I didn't go to some system and get indoctrinated, so I don't know how to speak their language. But I guarantee you, if I get into a discussion with these people, I will make them look ignorant, okay? Because I'm going to speak like a little child who understands what God is telling him, who hasn't been programmed. I'm going to speak it to him like that, and they're just going to be like, I have to leave. Yeah, that's what's going to happen. So the real medical system is going to change, and I'm very grateful for the sacred plant. I dedicated my life to Mary, Mother Mary, first of all, Mary Jane, and Mother Earth. You know, I'm dedicated to Mary. My life is dedicated to Mary, and I see Mary as the Holy Spirit, as Mother Mary, as our earth, as God's mom, as, the divine superior. So this is, I'm serious. I'm I I love Saint Michael, and I love Mother Mary. I love God. I love Jesus. And people are gonna be like, how can this guy talk about God and cannabis? Well, because cannabis and God are the same, or not the same thing, but they go hand in hand. Like you use burnt offerings and different rituals to show my gratitude, to increase my spirituality for God. You know what I mean? When I'm pissed off and hungry and upset and depressed, you think I want to pray? That's probably when I should be praying the most, but my brain is telling me stupid things, and the thoughts in my head won't allow me to do it. And then when I finally get this sacred plant, she allows me to calm down and rest, and then I can think and I can talk and I can give my thanks to God. So anyone who's confused about these two things, that's why you have two hands. You put your hands together and you start praying. You know what I mean? I pray when I use my cannabis. For me, it's a sacred plant, and without it, my life would be so difficult, it would be unmanageable. I promise you that. I love the sacred plant. I love my life. I love my family. The sacred plant allows me to enjoy my life. It allows me to show gratitude towards my family. You know what I mean? I'm I'm Italian and Polish, so I got a hot temper.